anytime soon. What's up, guys? Jamie here, and today we are going to do our Money in the Bank predictions. But before I do that, I filmed a what's on my iPhone 5S. I didn't do a video in a few weeks because I was sick and things came up, and Roz and I were also going to do a mock draft, but like I said, stuff came up, and the end of the school year is always busy, and we got sick, and so we're going to do that after we do this video and our reactions to Money in the Bank. So sometime next week. And yes, so Rob, would you like to say anything before we start?
No, just good to be back in the saddle over here. But I too have had a lot of stuff going on lately, like a lot of content on my channel. Filmed a bunch of stuff, and the main one you guys might want to check out is this one right here, joining me with a discussion on Attack on Titan. So if you didn't see that, head over to Razman's Reality and check that out. It's in a playlist called First Watch, because that's the name of that series. It's called First Watch.
Yeah, we both have a lot planned for our channel, so
including me trying to get back in the flow of solo wrestling videos. Like, I kind of got away from it because I say everything over here, but then I felt like I'm being bad to the subscribers who like hearing my wrestling opinions. So what you're probably going to see over there is just like solo topics. Like, I'll talk about what's going on with the product, whereas this will be more of like an entire week's recap type thing.
Right. Well, there's different topics that you can do, but that are more for a one-on-one type of video. Anyways, exactly. There's so much to talk about in wrestling. There's a lot that you could do for just, for wrestling.
Exactly.
Solo or not. So.
Exactly. Like, I want to do something, talk more about AJ versus Cena, but I don't know if that'll go up in time, so it might be irrelevant unless it's a rematch. But anyway, the intro is becoming way too long, and we got a lot to do.
And we have to promote and stuff anyways. So, the first match, which I'm going to do probably more of least important to really good, I guess the most important. What I really like about this card, though, is there's not really a bad match.
No, there isn't.
It goes from kind of above average to really, really great, and it's the first time in a while, and it's even better than not Money in the Bank. This is Money in the Bank, better than WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's definitely has a much better overall feel card-wise than Mania did. And we should also point out that I don't know if we're going to do this every time for No Journey Back, but if this works out, we're probably going to try to do it this way. We did not discuss these predictions ahead of time. We decided we overthink things way too much. We're just going to do this live, off the cuff, and see how it turns out. So.
Right. By the way, it probably looks like I wear the same thing in like every week, but it just so happens that's what I am wearing for this week, because I remember in like a couple other videos I wore the shirt too anyway, but it's kind of random. But okay, so I'm going to get to the first match, and I think I will do, you want me to do the kickoff matches?
Yeah, go ahead.
These are kind of the cards that are not really as important. I wouldn't say they were terrible, but they're kind of not really that important. That's why I said, like average or above average.
Right.
But anyway, so go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead and do them, because I have thoughts about Apollo Crews versus Sheamus particularly. So.
Apollo Crews versus Sheamus is actually not on the kickoff.
Oh, they moved it to the pay-per-view. That's cool. That's cool. All right.
So anyways, the Golden Truth versus Breezango. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Breezango, yeah. I don't know what to think about this. I really don't. I mean, I really love the vignettes of the Golden Truth, like leading up to becoming the Golden Truth. They were really funny. But I think this is more about pushing Tyler Breeze and Fandango as a team, which I'm not quite sold on yet. Not because both guys aren't tremendously talented. They're both hugely talented, especially Tyler Breeze. And in recent years, we've seen that in NXT. But because they spent so long being quote-unquote jobbers that go nowhere, I'm just not quite sold on them being a relevant tag team, especially with how crowded the tag team division is now. Now, when the brand split happens, they could be very strong players, which I think is what WWE might be trying to do, is trying to make them relevant now. So when they go to SmackDown or stay on Raw, then people will buy into them more with whatever version of the titles they're going after. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Golden Truth in this one, though, because they've lost every match they've been in since they were a tag team, as far as I'm aware. So while I think it's about Breezango, I think Golden Truth has to go over. Otherwise, what's the point? Unless you're going to turn one of them heel.
True. I mean, I'm glad that, like, exactly what you said. I don't want to repeat what you said because you pretty much said what I wanted to say. But I'm glad that they're trying to do something with them, because for a while, like you were saying, they've done nothing. Nothing to do with them. It's just the creative team tends to take really bad dives with certain wrestlers. And it's a shame because some of them are very talented, especially Tyler Breeze. Like, a lot of us couldn't wait for him to come up to the main roster, and now they've done nothing, and he's a jobber on the main roster. So, I mean, there, like you were saying, there could be potential, but it all depends how they're booked. And they've been really, like, high on the both of these tag teams. You know what I mean? They've been showing them quite a bit, and I'm glad they're finally doing something with all of them, because all of them have been jobbers, like disappeared time. You remember that, right? And then all of a sudden he came back, and they finally started doing something with him. But I feel like in this situation, since it's like a real on heel tag team versus, like, a face tag team, one's like a comedy and one's like, well, the other one are kind of like, I don't want to say they're a joke because that's not fair, but they're kind of like a heel almost kind of comedy, that the faces will win.
Exactly. I 100% agree with that. So I think that's all we need to say.
I mean, it's only the kickoff match, so it's not really anything too big, but I don't want to knock the guys because, at least they're on the review at all.
Absolutely not, and I totally forgot to tweet out the link, so I need to get on that. But anyways, continue with it.
So the Lucha Dragons versus the Dudley Boys. Now, I actually feel really bad for both of these tag teams because the Dudley Boys were in main events and they were in, tagging with some of the best tag teams, and they were getting title shots, and, they were expected to get this big deal when they came back and never won the title. And now they're on pre-show matches. Sometimes they're not even being shown at all. And the poor Lucha Dragons, they're over, but then Kalisto lost his title, and now they're just kind of there, I feel. And these guys are great, and I really, really love Kalisto. And it's a shame that he always gets stuck on the pre-show matches. That a lot of these guys get stuck on the pre-show matches anyway. Not really too surprised for like Golden Truth and Tyler Breeze, but do you want to say anything?
No, I agree with everything you said. I mean, there's not much else I can add to that except for I really think that at this point you either have to commit to one of these two teams or break one of them up. That's literally where I'm at.
I don't think they're gonna see. I can't really see them doing that to either, but I feel like for the Lucha Dragons, though, it really benefited Kalisto, though. Especially
it did, and that's what I was getting at when I said that, because Kalisto has already proven how good of a singles wrestler he can be. It's almost like Sin Cara is just there to prop him up now. So maybe turn Sin Cara heel. I don't know how you turn a masked wrestler heel. It's always kind of difficult to do. But maybe try to turn Sin Cara heel, have him feud with Kalisto over singles title if they're going to bring back the Cruiserweight title and let NXT launch it and then have it be part of the main roster. Kalisto would be perfect for that. I'm just throwing some ideas out there.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think you can do that for the Dudley Boys. Like, not that they're not awesome or anything or cool, or I'm not trying to knock any of the guys, but I feel like the Dudley boys have to be together if that makes any sense. And they've been single before, like the Lucha Dragons. So, well, but the thing is, if they're gonna do that, they need to push them correctly. I don't want poor Sin Cara to go under the rug either. Like Kalisto would definitely benefit, but I don't want Sin Cara to go under the rug either. You know. But anyway, who do we think we're gonna win? Because we're going on like a tangent with these two.
With these two opening matches, even I gotta go with the Dudley Boys simply because I just have a feeling that Lucha Dragons as a team are on a short leash for every reason I said. But I wouldn't be surprised if it went the other way.
You know,
Because
I
it seems like the Dudley Boys have come to the company just to put other teams over. So we'll see.
which I don't mind in a way, but you know they were used to be some of like the fiercest tag teams, you know, and now they're just kind of losing. It was like a big deal when they came back, but now it's just kind of like they're just there, you know. I mean, it's cool to get to see them and everything, but no, I definitely think the Dudley Boys, because of the way they've been kind of building them. But I also think the Lucha Dragons will lose because you know how WWE is sometimes. They don't push people properly.
Exactly.
All right, so anyway, moving on completely. So Apollo, I know you wanted to talk about this, so this is why I'm going to give it to you. Apollo Crews versus Sheamus.
Apollo Crews, it's about dang time that he got a real character. And what I mean by that, and I'm going to stop posting the link for a second so I can make sure I'm looking directly at the audience here for this while I'm talking so intently. What I mean by the fact that I never felt Apollo Crews had a character was they just made him the smiley, happy-go-lucky babyface. He never really got to really show any emotion. And Sheamus dogging the new era, dissing the new era, and making Apollo Crews the face of that because Apollo Crews beat him in a match has allowed Apollo Crews to get continually frustrated with the attacks on Sheamus, the disrespect by Sheamus, and he's shown some real emotion and real anger here for this feud. So I'm really, really enjoying this. And for me, Apollo Crews has to go over here because if he doesn't, you lose all the momentum that you've been building with him. I understand that Sheamus is in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Shadows, which, side note, I'm a big Turtles fan. I actually really enjoyed the movie. So if you want to know my thoughts on the movie, there's a no spoilers review right now up on Razman's Reality, and spoilers will be coming hopefully tomorrow. But yeah, despite Sheamus being a star in that movie, this is about WWE and this is about wrestling, and I really absolutely think if Sheamus doesn't put Apollo Crews over here, it'll be a huge mistake. Even if they're going to do more than one match, I don't care. Apollo Crews has to win the match. He has to.
Oh, he definitely does. Not only for what you said, but finally he has a match. And we were all, another person that could not wait for him to come up. Like, he deserved to come up. And it's a shame because he disappeared from TV for a while. And he would come out sometimes. It's like, finally, WWE, you have found something for him. And he's so athletically talented. So talented. And it's a shame that they were doing nothing for him. And now they finally found something for him. I mean, I know it's Sheamus, but, you know, hey, it's something. And Sheamus is really annoying heel. And Apollo Crews is a very big phase. I just don't like how when he came up that they didn't really do it. Like, they hyped it up and then they didn't really do anything for him. So like you're saying, finally he actually has like somebody to face.
Exactly. So yeah, hopefully this will be something for him because again, they made such a big deal about him coming up the night after WrestleMania. It was a huge debut, and then they're like, oh well, now what do we do? And he disappeared.
I mean, I wish it was somebody else too, but Sheamus is somebody, and we've ranted before about Sheamus, but still.
No, and Sheamus is a very good heel, and that's why we rant about him because he
That's
does
why
his
we said he's
job
aggravating.
and gets on the nerves. I mean, the biggest problem I have with him over the years is that he was just the same character over and over again. At least with this new heel persona, he's really trying really hard with it. So
Yeah, true. That's true. So this match I'm about to say is a title match, and it's not. It's not a huge. Not. It's not the title match you think, but it has me kind of like because I don't care for either wrestler. The U.S. champion Rusev versus Titus O'Neil. I only want to see Lana. That's why I don't. I only care. And at the same time, I feel really bad for Titus O'Neil because he is another jobber in professional wrestling, and they are sort of pushing him, but I have no interest in this match at all. And Rusev's going to retain. Like they're not going to drop the title already from Rusev. But
you took the words right out of my mouth. There's absolutely nothing else I can say except for I feel so bad for Titus O'Neil because he didn't deserve to get suspended. This pushes WWE's way of apologizing for that, but he still does not he's still sorry. This is the problem with live. Sometimes I get tongue tied. He still is not in a believable enough situation where I think he's going to go over in this match. If he was facing the Intercontinental Champion, then I'd buy into it. But facing the U.S. Champion with all the work they put back into Rusev right now, it's not going to happen. So yeah, Rusev retains in a match that really should not be on this card. This is the one that should be on the pre-show.
it should. It definitely should. Why does the Lucha Dragons and the Dudley Boys get stuck on the pre-show all the time? Like there's some, especially the Dudley Boys are some of the best tag teams. Why do they gotta? And I'm not really a Dudley Boys fan, but hold on, Dad, I'm coming. Sorry. Anyways, no, but there's mostly good matches on this card aside from a few. But the matches that are not really that great are on the pre-show, But who even cares about either of these wrestlers? To be honest. Okay, so next match, Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin, who is Raz's best friend. So
Oh, Lord.
I'm gonna leave it to you because you're best friends in this match. So
here's the thing. Before I even talk about Baron Corbin and him being good at what he does, and that's why I can't stand him, let's talk about Dolph for a second. How the heck, by the way, the tweet's finally out if you want to retweet and help the people know we're here. But how did Dolph Ziggler get stuck with being the guy that just is the guy that puts everybody over now? He deserves so much more than that. And this brand split better freaking fix Dolph Ziggler.
because Dolph's really talented.
I'm so tired of seeing Dolph get just thrown under the rug all the time. But they've been doing this feud for a while. Dolph already got his surprise win at the last pay-per-view.
I literally was about to say Baron Corbin is probably going to win because of the reasons you just said, and simply because they love to have Dolph Ziggler lose all the time. But go ahead, finish your sentence.
No, it's just, and I'm sorry for my phone in the background. If you can hear it, I got it turned down as low as it'll go. I couldn't get it to mute all the way for some bizarre reason. But yeah, I just think that Baron has to go over here, and hopefully this feud ends because Dolph Ziggler deserves better, and Baron Corbin, the way they have faith in him, it needs better too.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Baron's a good heel, and he pisses people off. But I just wish, Ziggler would win matches sometimes. But we're going to go with Raz's best friend, Baron Corbin.
So. Indeed. And if you don't know what that is, that's an inside joke from way back when we had the one and only Deluxe Men here on No Turning Back. So go back to the playlist and find that joke because it's quite funny.
Yep. All right. So, okay, so WWE Women's Champion Charlotte and Dana versus Queen and Your Love, which Natty and Becky Lynch, if you don't know.
Well, first of all, Queen and Love deserve to go over in this match because
But they're not going to because.
of the way that they've been sort of like an afterthought in the Divas division. Or excuse me, the women's division. God, Freudian slip there. Slap me upside the head for saying that one. But you know, that's WWE's own dang fault for driving the bad term home for so long for us. But I really love both those girls, and they deserve better. And I hope if there's a women's tag team title down the road, that they're the ones that win it. But yeah, Charlotte and Dana will win because it's all about making Charlotte look like a dominant champion. It's all
And they're
about
not going to have her drop the title, after all this time now. So.
right. She won't drop it till SummerSlam. Hopefully to Sasha Banks, but that's a whole other thing we could get into later on, depending on how long this video goes.
And when you said about Natty and Becky Lynch with the whole tag team, that's a whole nother video too. You could go in so many directions. So many people could get pushes and blah blah blah. But anyways, getting back to what we were talking about, Charlotte and Dana Brooke. And Dana Brooke is sort of just in the background. Actually, everybody here is just in the background. It's mainly just for Charlotte, you know. And as much as I would love Natty and Becky to win, or anyone else really, it's making Charlotte look monstrously strong now that Rick's not there. You know, like, oh, I could win all by myself now.
Right, that's what it's all about. And she, to her credit, just like Baron Corbin, she is playing the perfect heel. She's doing her job.
She's really aggravating.
I haven't seen a female wrestler actually embody a heel this well in such a very long time.
She's getting a lot of hate, if you've seen on Twitter, but if she's pissing you off, if a wrestler is pissing you off and they are a heel, then it's working. And if they're saying how much they suck and they're annoying and they're trash, then that is a classic thing casual fans do when they don't like a heel wrestler. So we are being played to do that. And I hate admitting it sometimes, but she really makes me annoyed, and so does Dana Brooke. But then they must be playing really good heels.
Well, Dana Brooke is just a waste of space. But again, that's a whole. If we decide to do solo videos or like a random episode nurturing back, then I can say all that. I don't want to make. I always feel like these videos are way too long for what we're trying to do here. So I don't want to get off on another rant about Dana Brooke and how bad she is in general.
But, oh, that's true. But, you know, she's still a good enough heel where she makes you furious. But, yeah, no, that's another topic. But we just don't want to be like, okay, so Apollo Crews wins, Dolph Ziggler wins, like, Rusev wins. Okay, guys, bye.
No, I know what you're saying, but I'm just. No,
but we also go off on tangents. Too,
I'm trying not to go off on a tangent. I'm trying.
Like we are now.
I'm trying to stay focused on what's in front of us. Is what I'm saying.
All right. So what Raz is saying is Charlotte's going to win, and Dana. I keep forgetting she's there. What?
Charlotte and Dana will win, but they shouldn't win. No. That's the bottom line.
Well, I don't really care so much for Charlotte winning. I just don't want Dana Brooke there.
I just don't like the fact that she's in there with Natty and Becky. That's the part. That's why I said she shouldn't win.
True. Yeah, that's true. If we could, you know, like maybe she could get locked in a closet somewhere, and it'll be those three, and they're like, "Oh, what happened to Dana? Oh, she can't make it tonight." But anyway, I'm kidding.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So next match. Okay, actually, I'm going to do this one. Money in the Bank ladder match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match contract. I know you wanted to say this, so go ahead.
Well, first of all, the most stacked Money in the Bank match ever of all time.
There's so many talented people, so many. I love all of them. I wouldn't care who won, except I don't want Del Rio to win. But Del Rio, talented on all of them. Great heels. Great faces. They're all hilarious. So go ahead.
Exactly. Well, that's what I was about to say. Del Rio really feels like the odd man out because look at this lineup: Cesaro, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Chris Jericho. That is the most stacked lineup of all time. I mean, my favorite wrestler ever, period, of all time, is an afterthought to me in this match. And that's how amazing the build has been for this. But with all that being said, Sami Zayn will have his time. Cesaro will have his time. With the year that this man right here has had, if you go all the way back to his NXT debut even 2 years ago, with the build up he's had, anything short of him winning the Money in the Bank contract for Kevin Owens will be an absolute travesty. And even if you take all that out of the equation about the way they've treated him, the way they've made him feel like the next great heel in wrestling, he's so good on the mic and so good with that character that he fits the persona of what the Money in the Bank briefcase is so well. Because who better to have a title shot any place, anytime, anywhere than a guy who's so full of himself that and so cocky that thinks that he can just take the title at any moment, anytime, anywhere. So all those factors to me just prove that Kevin Owens needs to win this match.
Definitely. And the segments that they've had with the Money in the Bank have also been quite interesting and entertaining. So, oh, and it usually, I wanted to say, for Money in the Bank, they usually have like jobbers, or people we don't care about. Kind of like, how they had the Andre the Giant match for WrestleMania. They kind of just throw people in there for them to do because they don't have an actual official match, but they still want them on the card. That's what I felt like Money in the Bank has been, and especially that match. But they put in all stacked up people except for Del Rio. There's no jobbers in this. There's no people where you're just like, oh, why is he in here? It's not like they threw, God forbid, they threw Big Show in there, or they threw like Fandango or somebody in there. They threw some of the best heels and best characters in wrestling right now. But Jericho and Kevin Owens have to be the most hilarious and the most funniest, if that's a word, heels ever. They're so good. So good.
If they weren't such talented singles wrestlers, especially at this early stage of Kevin's career, I would love for them to be a tag team. And I hope that's a thing somewhere down the road.
I hope that too, because while they were for a little bit, they did great things together.
It was fantastic. It reminded me so much of how Jericho and Christian used to be back in the day. I mean, it's just fantastic stuff. But yeah, what you didn't say what your feeling is. Are you agreeing with me about?
Yeah, no, I did. I said yes, I agree with you. I just don't want to, just repeat what you said.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry.
Like echoing. I don't want to echo you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I completely missed it and glossed over it. But
no, you're fine. You're good.
This is one of those things, though, where if we're wrong about Owens, as long as it doesn't go to Del Rio, I'm not going to be mad because I would love Sami Zayn and I love Cesaro.
I love anybody in this match if they want, really, and all of them would benefit.
If Chris Jericho shocks the world and does what he did on Monday night and is the last one up there taking that briefcase down, you guys will hear my joy and screams from
across the world.
Across the world. So there you go.
I really wouldn't mind. It honestly would benefit all of them. And, Jericho, or even if Jericho won, he won his creation, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind at all. But I think now, like you were saying, it's KO's time to shine. But anyways, getting on to the other matches. So this is another. Well, before I get onto it, it kind of sucks sometimes when all your favorites in the same match because you want all of them to win. Right. You know what I mean? Like for this match, I want KO to win, but I want Jericho to win because I don't want him to lose another Money in the Bank because it's his creation. But then again, I don't want Sami to lose, and I know they can have their other shots. But I love all of them, so.
Right. Right.
So I said that because the next match is the WWE Tag Team Champions, The New Day versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus the Vaudevillains. Now, I love every single one of these tag teams. You guys know how much I love The New Day. I've liked them since they started. Like everybody knows how much I love them. Raz knows. And then you all know how much I love Enzo Amore and Big Cass. And Raz knows especially how much I love Enzo. He's my I'm gonna admit I have a crush. Enzo's my boyfriend. If you all didn't know, right, Raz? He's
Well,
mine.
I was like, I don't know if she's actually gonna say it, so we'll let her say it if she's gonna say it.
Yeah. No,
But
but no jokes, jokes. No, I really do love them, and I do love the vaudevillains, but I feel like they're kind of like the least out of here. Like I wouldn't mind if whoever would win, and I'm not trying to bash the vaudevillains, but I feel like they're kind of the least out of here. You know, I kind of like them the least, even though Raz knows I like them a lot in when they were in NXT, and I still do very much like them. But like I was saying before, this is another one where I don't want either of them to lose. Like I don't want the New Day to lose because I don't obviously I don't want them to lose because I love them and I still think they should have the title. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, they're a whole nother elite. Like they're great. And then Enzo Amore, they definitely deserve the tag titles. You know, obviously. So I'm at a total like I don't know who I want to win. I want all of them to win, but I still think the New Day will retain though. I wouldn't be upset if Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson or Enzo Amore were to win, or even the Vaudevillains. But that's just my thoughts. I still don't. I don't. But at the same time, I want the others to win too. You and I were talking about that before. How
exactly, I mean, nobody wants the New Day to lose because New Day is the greatest faction in WWE history in years and years and years. But the thing is, you know, again, the whole point of doing this live and not really discussing it is I'm trying to stop overthinking it. And the bottom line is, with the talent that they put in this match, I just think they're setting it up for New Day has to finally lose. It's just time for them to show how good they can be without the titles. The question then comes down to Enzo and Cass or uh,
the Vaudevillains.
Gallows and Anderson, is as to who he would pick to be the new
I
WWE Tag Team
feel
Champion.
like Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, although I absolutely love the fact that they're feuding in a tag team with the New Day, especially the New Day, and that they're actually getting title shots. But I feel like I don't think yet because if they're gonna do something with AJ Styles, John Cena, or you know if they don't call it the Bullet Club, or if you know something's gonna go on with Finn coming up or something. You know what I'm trying to say? Like if they have something planning with them, if this not like a substitute, but something great for them to do while they figure out while AJ Styles is doing his thing and while Finn does his thing. You know what I mean?
Right, right. And it's interesting you bring that up because that will lead me into when we get to talk about Cena versus Styles. Because there's another reason I wanted to do this live because I haven't told you any of this, and some of the stuff I'm going to say about that, you're going to be like, wow, did not expect him to say that, or that makes me think. I think so. But yeah, Gallows Anderson, I think will win because of everything you just said. I think that everything you just said actually proves that they should win because they need to remain strong and need to remain in force. And having them win has so much more potential than Enzo and Cass right now because Enzo and Cass, their gimmick is so similar to New Day, which we've already seen with the tag team battles. And if they split into two versions of the tag team battles, I think Enzo and Cass can still win a tag team championship while Gallows and Anderson still have a tag title.
Can you imagine?
So for that reason, I'm going to pick Gallows and Anderson to win.
And then I'm torn because it's like I want all of them to win, but yeah, they all can't have the tag title. So I definitely think the New Day is going to retain. I wouldn't be upset if Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson won, or even if Enzo Amore and Big Cass won, because they deserve it too. They all really deserve it, honestly. And New Day deserves to retain too.
And if New Day does retain, I could totally see it be because they want them to have an actual physical 1 year reign as champions because SummerSlam will mark 1 year since they won the tag team titles last year.
So I wouldn't mind that either. Also, can I just say, I wouldn't even mind if it was the New Day and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson just together feuding, or if it was the New Day and Enzo Amore and Big Cass, but they wouldn't have, face on face. But now that you brought them all together, oh my gosh, it's perfect. Oh,
Right.
and can I just say, the New Day and Enzo Amore and Big Cass on the mic together was brilliant. That segment on Monday was freaking hilarious. I wish the other two didn't come out almost as much as I love them because they're so good.
Oh my
So
gosh.
good. And them tagging together, just beautiful. Beautiful. I loved it.
Oh, it was amazing and fantastic. And that promo was so not PG.
The things that they said. I was just like, did they really just say that?
Oh my God, it was. I still can't stop saying it. I was blowing on her all night long. Like I can't believe that they actually said that.
Hey,
Oh,
let's get away with that too. I mean, we all know what that meant. We are fully aware of what that meant, but the kids might have been like, "What are they talking about?"
Right.
It was great. See, that's the thing. You can still do stuff like that in wrestling. I mean, the adults are going to be fully aware of what that meant. The kids are not going to know. And you're not going to explain it to them. So that's something that you can do. You can still keep it PG, but do like little innuendos, because a child's not going to get that. Anyway, getting off on a tangent. All of them together is just so great.
Yeah, I want whatever happens.
All tag teams are so great, especially the New Day and Enzo Amore. Oh my God. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, whatever happens here, all four of these teams need to stay feuding with each other.
Yeah, I'll both be happy and sad. Like, I'll be happy with whoever wins. I don't really want, but I wouldn't mind vaudevillains. Not that I don't like them, but you know what I mean. I would prefer the other three, but I wouldn't be mad, honestly. I would be mad because the New Day lost it, but then I would be at the same time. It's like, hey, they had a long run and they can do other great things, but the other wonderful tag teams won it too. So, like I said, I'm conflicted. Like, I want all of them to win, but I don't want them to lose either. So
Exactly.
All right, so all right, I'll just go with this. This is a match that everybody is looking forward to. If not, these are probably the next four matches. I would have to say that the tag titles, the World Heavyweight title, AJ Styles match, and the Money in the Bank probably have to be the four best matches that are on this card, and have to be what people are the most interested in. But John Cena, I had to make sure I said that correctly. Raz knows the inside joke. Versus AJ Styles. Now, oh my gosh, when they came back together, amazing. The segment between them, amazing. Just the promo skills on Monday, amazing. This match is going to be amazing. So I know you really wanted to talk about it, but what do you have to say?
You want to go ahead and go first?
No, go ahead. No, I talk too much about the tag team. I want you to. Okay. I wanted you to have certain. But go ahead.
Okay, well, as long as you feel that way, because I'm just gonna say I'm gonna be going on for a minute. And I don't want to.
No, I had my part already, so you're fine.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Everything John Cena said on Monday night is 100% true. This is a match people have been saying what if about for 15 freaking years. 15 years. People have been wanting AJ Styles versus John Cena. They've been saying, what would happen if these two guys faced? And WWE paid attention to all the history. Well, most of it. They completely glossed over that certain company that they will not name that's based out of Orlando, Florida. But they totally went PWG, New Japan, Ring of Honor. They said every name of every company he's been in. They acknowledged the fact that AJ has actually won more career championships than John Cena. He's one of the few living wrestlers who can say he's won more world titles than John Cena. He's probably the only guy right now.
In different companies too.
Yeah.
In different companies.
Exactly. He wasn't just a one-trick pony. He did this everywhere. Everywhere. He was a world champion. And everywhere he was slightly different as a character too. And man, like he said, the electricity when he first walked out, I remember that night on Raw so specifically because we're sitting there speculating after John did his whole, thing about the troops on Memorial Day. We're like, what is he gonna do? Because if this is gonna be something disappointing, the whole world's gonna riot. And then I just off the top of my head, out of nowhere, and she can vouch for this and
Yep.
tell you it's the truth. I just said, what if it's AJ Styles? How amazing
And
would that be?
he. I swear, he really did actually say that. He did.
I,
And
I
he
did.
literally was almost kind of joking too. Like he's
I
just like
said,
throwing it out there too.
I said in the most perfect world ever, that's what they would do. But we neither one of us ever thought they would do it. And then here he comes, and the energy from that crowd. I haven't heard anything like that. I've been watching wrestling for it'll be 30 years. At WrestleMania 33, it will be 30 years that I have been watching this sport. I have never seen pure raw emotion like that from a crowd, other than Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 12 in the first Iron Man match, or Undertaker losing his streak. That's the only other two times I've ever heard and witnessed emotion like that from a crowd. I mean, it was just they stopped the show. They stopped this the show because they wouldn't stop. It was just constant. Let's go Cena, AJ Styles. Let's go Cena, AJ Styles. It felt like it went on for 45
Yes.
minutes. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. But it was one of those things that you just never thought you'd see. And then what they did this Monday, like I said, with them acknowledging the history and actually letting AJ Styles cut a promo, and the way he left that promo,
He
I mean,
told the truth too.
first it was John Cena telling the truth and getting him to man up, and then when he signed that contract, and the way he left that promo, walked out and said, "This Sunday, maybe you'll finally get the message. Your time is up. My time is now." Drops the mic, walks out of the ring. That is the most beautiful thing ever. I mean, just a masterpiece. The way they booked this is a masterpiece. But that being said, this is why I wanted to make a solo video on this, kind of. So I'll say as much as I can right now without, making it last super long. They can't be lying to us. They went out of their way to make it a thing that it's going to be AJ Styles versus John Cena one-on-one. So they can't have Gallows Anderson come out. They can't have the club get a new member in this match with John Cena. They can continue the feud. They can have it be 2 or 3 matches if that's what they want to do, and nobody will complain about that either. But this first match has got to stay one-on-one. Otherwise, it makes AJ Styles look incredibly weak. It makes him look like that every other independent guy that John Cena accused him of being. All that will happen if this match is not one-on-one. And if AJ Styles is not the winner. Okay.
Right, and it's not gonna, if it's not gonna affect Cena if he loses. You can always have another match. Like he can win the first grand match, and then whatever happens after that, Cena could win. So yeah, definitely AJ Styles needs to win. People are going to have a tantrum and blow up everything if Cena were to win. But I want AJ Styles to win. I think he's going to win. I don't want Cena to win. I mean, as long as AJ Styles wins first and he wins a match, like he's got to win this match. After that, I mean, of course, I would still want, AJ Styles to win always, but I wouldn't mind as much if he lost after.
No, because if you are going to continue a feud, especially if you're going to make it a 3-match feud, then the other guy's got to win in the middle of the feud. He just has
like one wins, and then the third final match determines all.
Exactly.
So next match. Anything else?
I was just going to ask you, as somebody who, not by choice, but just because of where you live and what your schedule and things are, you don't see as much of the other companies as you would like to. What was your feeling watching that segment? I mean, did you get why this was such a big deal? Like, it doesn't.
No, I watched other companies. I didn't start watching yesterday, and I didn't.
No.
I don't strictly watch.
I
WWE.
didn't mean it like that. I know you have, but I meant to say, did you get as someone who maybe hadn't seen everything that AJ's ever done and only seen maybe TNA and a little bit of ROH, did you get, I mean, are you as hyped for this match as everybody else is?
Of course I am. Of course I am. I've seen his stuff. I've seen his stuff. That's what the internet is for. I've seen his stuff. I watched him in TNA. I've seen ROH. I used to watch Ring of Honor and TNA. I watched it a long time ago, but I would like to get back into Ring of Honor. I would like to see his other stuff, but I don't have time to do that. And I mean, maybe I can now that it's the summer.
Right.
But no, I get why it's a big hype. I didn't start watching yesterday. Like,
no, I wasn't.
I love the fact that they're facing. It's a match where, first of all, we never would have thought he had been in WWE. But AJ Styles versus John Cena, because John Cena has always been and always will be a WWE guy, and AJ Styles was never a WWE guy. So he was just this was sort of a fantasy booking match, because not only wasn't it really realistic, not only that, but they were in two separate companies, and one was a WWE guy and one was a non-WWE guy. So this is a dream / fantasy match booking that fans have wanted to see for years, finally being put together. For instance, like Undertaker versus Sting now will forever always be a dream fantasy match. But that's another match that was kind of in the list of fantasy matches / booking / dream matches that fans have wanted to see. And now we're finally getting one of those matches that was on our list in real life. It's not just on a game. We're not just doing custom-made videos. It's not on a video game where we post it. It's not, fake cartoons. It's real life in the ring that we're going to be seeing. It's not just, on a card anymore. It's actually will be happening in real life. Because it's always been where, he was just seen as a WWE guy, and AJ Styles was a non-WWE guy, so it was never really realistic. But no, we are actually finally getting this on TV or wherever you're watching it.
And the thing is exactly what John Cena said. It's a real answer to the question, what if? We're finally going to get a real answer to the question, what if John Cena faced AJ Styles? And please, I hope you didn't take what I just said the wrong way. I didn't mean that as an insult at all. I mean, I know you've been, that's one of the things that made us such good friends, was how impressed I was by how many years you've been watching wrestling and all the stuff you knew. I just meant, I was just looking for somewhat of a different perspective to maybe help, give the audience some different talking points. So I hope I didn't insult you.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I was just thinking more of the people that are watching, you know what I mean? It's so annoying. But anyways, so anything else before I go on to the last match? Because I'm going to have to eat soon. So anyways,
go ahead.
World Heavyweight Champion, or WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Now, this has been a long time coming, and it's going to be great. Seth is great. We could go on a whole nother rant about, the heel face persona in this, but I think that Roman Reigns is going to retain. Because of how much they're shoving it. And then not only does that confirm it, but even Seth Rollins' return did not turn Roman Reigns' heel. You know what I mean?
Right.
So.
And we've talked about that so much before, about how huge of a mistake that was by WWE to not do that, to not make Seth Rollins the face. But just to be different, and because I want Seth Rollins to stay relevant, and because he never did lose the title, I want this story to continue and have more meat and more gravitas to it.
But I also think him losing will obviously contintle it.
Well, it will. Either way, you can continue this story. But
especially if he loses, because that's, it'll cause, what's the word? An argument between them, or more like strong feelings. It's like, I hate the catchphrase, but the guy beat the man or whatever, and it'll drive Seth insane. So then they'll have another match, and So
Exactly.
this is another match that's going to be good too. As much as we all want to slam our heads when Roman Reigns comes out, but
they're not gonna do it. But I mean, they teased it a little bit during that Ambrose Asylum segment. If Dean Ambrose would be the one to win the Money in the Bank, and then Dean Ambrose takes the title off one of those two guys, and then it's
I
all
wouldn't
three
mind
of them,
either.
that would be amazing too.
I wouldn't mind. Oh yeah, Money in the Bank. I wouldn't mind if, like we said, I don't care. Dean's another great. My gosh, she's hilarious. I wouldn't mind if he won either. Like,
No, it would be amazing thing and something nobody would see coming. But assuming that it stays between these two, just to be different, I'm gonna say Seth Rollins deserves to win, just so he can.
oh, he does, but I don't think he will.
I don't think he will, but just to be different and just to be a little bit hopeful, I guess I'm gonna say Seth Rollins. But I will not be surprised.
Or not yet. Maybe not now, but maybe they're saving that for SummerSlam. You know.
True, that's very true. There's still SummerSlam coming, but I wouldn't be surprised if it went the other way. It probably is going to go the other way, but just to be different, just in case it does go the way I want, I can say that was the way I wanted it. I'm going to say Seth Rollins. So.
All right, so those are our predictions. I have to go eat, and
yes,
all our links are in the description. So tell us what you think. What's on my iPhone is also up. All links are in the description. Anything else you want to say?
No, just
we're doing our Money in the Bank predictions.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Don't forget to tune in on Sunday, 8 o'clock for that.
For our reactions. Okay, bye.
Bye.
See ya.